By the end of this video, we'll answer the question of what exactly happens at the end of a video. Hey there, kiddos, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Uncle Frank. I'm that you are having a great day, and in today's video, I'd like to sit back in my extremely squeaky chair, relax, and have a conversation with all of you guys about the wonderful world of trading card games. Specifically, I'd like to talk about card games that don't exist, but very easily could have or could still at some point in the future. You see, in the 30 years or more since the creation of the genre, there have been loads of trading card games. Plenty of them release every year. Some are great. Most are okay. Some are Hyborian gates. And not every card game stands the test of time, but there are plenty of companies that try anyway. And it feels like every few years there's a big bump in the amount of card games releasing. There was a huge surge in the mid-90s. Obviously, that's when the genre began. In the early 2000s, there was another one. There was one right around 2020 when a bunch of card games released around that point. And it feels like it feels like there's always more card games coming to market. And in today's video, I'd like to talk about 3 card games that I think could have existed. All right, and these are in no particular order. These aren't ranked in any meaningful way because I don't give it that much thought. But I do think that either these could have existed at one point if someone had just tried it out, or could feasibly be made right now if someone wanted to. So let's do the one that I think that could have existed first. You see, back especially in the early 2000s, there was a lot. I mean, a lot. Like, by 2005, there was a crapload of them. Anime-based, anime-inspired trading card games. If an anime was popular, if it was a fad, if it was a craze, doesn't matter. Dragon Ball, Naruto, Zatch Bell, Digimon. It did not matter what the anime IP was. It felt like if it was popular enough, it got an anime. None of them lasted, as far as I'm aware. Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't really count, in my opinion, because it really has outgrown the anime, right? I suppose it is an anime-inspired card game, so if you want to be, strict about it, yes, it's an anime-inspired card game that survived to today, but I really feel like it broke away from the anime lately. But yeah, besides that, a lot of anime TCGs just didn't survive. But a lot of them still came out. So one that I think could have existed was Soul Eater. And if you don't know what Soul Eater was, it was a fucking psychedelic experience. Soul Eater was one of those anime that you just can't forget because its plot was insane. The characters were all super memorable. The action scenes, the power setting, the power levels of the mythos, everything was great. It was a very enjoyable, gothic, almost, anime. A lot of weird stuff going on there, okay? I don't know how to properly describe it except the general premise was characters turned into weapons that were wielded by other characters so they could go fight evil spirits. And one of the main characters was the Son of Death, who was obsessed with symmetry, I think. One of them was a ninja who was an absolute goofball. And one of them played a piano with a devil. It has been a while since I've watched Soul Eater. I should probably go ahead and give that a rewatch at some point. But yeah, Soul Eater I feel like was extremely popular for a bit. It was like right up there with Death Note and Haruhi and what was another one from around that time that I remember a lot of people really liked? Orin High School Host Club, I guess, was extremely popular around that time. There was plenty of anime were popular back then, but it felt like Soul Eater was more so. And I feel like a Soul Eater card game could be easy to have made, have characters that turn into weapon cards to equip to other characters to fight against your opponent's character cards. It would be very simple, a combat-based head-to-head TCG. Nothing too complex, but giving fans of the show and the manga something to collect in card form would have been simple. And now that I think about it, I didn't actually bother to check if there was a Soul Eater TCG. So if there is one out on the market there, I just wasn't aware of it, and I apologize. I've just wasted like 2 minutes of your time. Moving on to one that I think could easily be made. Chair's really squeaky today. To one that I think could easily be made any time by someone who has the drive for it. a kind of Sherlock Holmes inspired card game where it's more of a mystery solving card game where players are given goals at the onset of a game, perhaps a mystery card, a murder mystery, or a trying to find something objective. And the goal of the game is to assemble cards, assemble evidence from your deck to try and solve the mystery card and race your opponent to solve the case. Something like this already exists, to be sure, with the Mythos card game, where you're trying to weave a story and get all of the story beats down in order to win the game by accruing enough points. And I feel like something like that could easily exist in a more mystery-inspired card game, where the goal of the game is to get clues, gather evidence, interrogate suspects, etc., by going through your deck and trying to find all the relevant cards before your opponent does. And part of what makes me think this could be easily done with a card game, besides the fact that Mythos already does something similar, is the fact that there is a Sherlock Holmes, not really a board game, so much as an in-the-box kind of game, where you do try to solve the mystery case before Sherlock Holmes himself does. It's a whole pen and paper. It's not really an RPG. It's not really a board game. I've only played it once. It made me feel stupid. Maybe I played it twice. It doesn't matter. So, like, this kind of concept is not alien to the world of gaming. It's not foreign to the world of what I call traditional gaming. So I think a card game where you try to solve mysteries and achieve specific objectives could be very fun. And I do feel like Sherlock Holmes is such a well-known concept. This could be done pretty much by anyone who has the creativity and drive to do it. Now, finally, I want to talk about a card game that I really am surprised does not exist. And that is Super Smash Brothers. Super Smash Brothers is a fighting game. It's basically a fighting game. It's one of the more well-known ones, I would think, right up there with Street Fighter and Soul Calibur? Tekken. Is there another one that I'm missing? King of Fighters. You guys can tell that I play fighting games all the time, right? Super Smash Bros. Is the Nintendo multi-IP conglomerate video game, and I feel like it would be the easiest of their gaming lineup to turn into a TCG that isn't named Pokemon. It has all sorts of memorable characters. Link, Mario, Pikachu, Pichu, Mewtwo. I think there's some other Pokemon there too, but Marth, Bowser, a whole cavalcade of characters. The Metroid characters there. I know her name is Samus, I'm just screwing with you guys. I feel like it would be very easy to make a combat-based head-to-head TCG where you're trying to battle against your opponent's some Nintendo characters to score an easy win through knockout damage. It'd be really fun, I think, even if designed correctly, obviously. The caveat here is that all these would have to be designed correctly. I couldn't possibly guess as to how that would be done, but I feel like Super Smash Bros. Is a game with a huge roster of characters that could easily be converted into card form, combined with plenty of items, stages that could be battlefields or something that gives small bonuses. All sorts of items, really. And it's not like Nintendo is foreign to the concept of card games. They make cards. They got a Pokemon card game. They have a Fire Emblem card game, believe it or not. I will get around to talking about that at some point. They have a Splatoon card game. Splatoon has a card game. Sort of. Kind of. It's complicated. But I feel like Super Smash Bros. Is such a big and well-known franchise with such a big and well-known roster that making a card game for that feels like a no-brainer. It feels like I almost guarantee that at some point someone at Nintendo has had the conversation of, why don't we just make a Smash Bros. Card game? And I feel like maybe it got shot down in the boardroom or something, but it feels like such an easy way to make quick cash, because I tell you what, I'd line up to play some Smash Bros. Card game, and I can name at least a few other people who'd be more than interested to get in on that. And maybe it doesn't have to be head-to-head. It can be a multiplayer card game, too, where up to 4 players can try to beat the crap out of each other. Fun stuff. Feels like it'd be simple and easy to design. Again, there's plenty of fighting card games out there. There's Universes, There's Flesh and Blood, which I always feel plays like a fighting game. So I feel like it would be, with how big Smash Brothers as an IP is, and with how easy I think it would be to design a game, again, I feel like it would be a no-brainer, easy to produce, easy to monetize thing that would get a lot of hype and a lot of excitement, at least for the first set. Again, who knows how well it would be designed, who knows how fun it would actually be to play. But yeah, Smash Brothers is a very easy one, I think. But yeah, those are, in my opinion, 3 card games that either could have or should exist very easily. So if you enjoyed that little conversation, if you enjoyed my theoretical, hypothetical combo, rant, ramble, whatever, please leave a like, share, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. Is there an IP you think could or should have a card game? Let me know. I am, after all, super curious, and I do read all your guys' comments. It helps the algorithm, which helps me out. So beyond that, check out the Discord, check out the Patreon if you want to see behind-the-scenes crap or anime and video game reviews. Doesn't really matter. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. At the end of the video, I squeaked the chair.